Greetings guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. This past week on TikTok, there is a woman who has gained a lot of negative attention and a lot of people like making skits, making fun of her and just talking about her situation and how she lives her life because she made this video that blew up and kind of got everybody talking, where she talks about how she acts when she goes to a restaurant with her husband and what she calls the princess treatment, where basically she says that when she goes to a restaurant, she doesn't make eye contact with anyone, she doesn't talk to anyone. Her husband gets the door for her, he speaks to all the wait staff, he orders for her, all of that, and that's her being treated like a princess. And that is the foundation of all of the content she makes. Once I was made aware of this one video that blew up, I went to her account and I scrolled through the entire thing. I went through all of her TikToks where she either talks about the princess treatment or she talks about her life as a stay-at-home mom / housewife. And it's very interesting and it's so different to pretty much all of the other sort of trad wife content that I've seen in a lot of ways. And so I really wanted to take a dive into that and talk about it with you because it's fascinating. So to give a little bit of context on her and the whole situation, basically her name is Courtney and she is 37. She's been married to her husband for 16 years and they have a teenage son. Don't know how old he is. I think he's between 14 and 16 from what I could gather from context, which there's not very much of it because she very, very rarely ever talks about him. That's something we'll get into in a bit. So she didn't used to be a housewife or a stay-at-home mom or anything. She has been, to her words exactly, promoted to stay-at-home mom / housewife within the past 9 or 10 months. Prior to that, she was working full-time as an interior designer because she has a degree in arts. She got pregnant during her university degree, but then finished it and then was a stay-at-home mom for the first 4 years of her son's life before going into the workforce. A few months ago, they moved from New York to Utah, where she quit her job and became a housewife. And that is what her content revolves around, both being a housewife and the way that her husband treats her and the way that she demands to be treated by her husband and what she calls the princess treatment, and giving advice as to how you too can have your husband treat you like a princess. There's a lot of interesting things that she says and a lot of really problematic elements that we are going to dive into. And if you enjoy this video, please do not forget to hit subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I've been told that my videos are not showing up in subscription boxes, so even if you are subscribed, you may be missing my videos, so don't forget to hit the bell. And if you aren't subscribed, I would love to have you. I upload a few times a week and I would love to see you again. I'm trying to hit 500k by the end of the year, so I appreciate it greatly. Let's get into it. Let's start with the TikTok that started it all, the one that blew up and had everyone just ridiculing the hell out of her and making fun of the situation.
Let's talk about princess treatment if you're at a restaurant and how you interact with the waitstaff and the hostess. If I am at a restaurant with my husband, I do not talk to the hostess, I do not open any doors, and I do not order my own food.
Not talking to the waitstaff or anyone that works at a restaurant, anyone outside of your husband, is such weird and rude behavior. These are people. These are people, and not only are you not talking to them, you're not making eye contact with them either. They deserve to be acknowledged. They're not, dirt beneath your feet. They are your equals. In this moment, sure, they are serving you, they are being paid to work for you effectively, but they are still people and they do still deserve respect, and just standing or sitting there and avoiding eye contact and ignoring them when they directly speak to you is very, very rude. And I feel like that's a really basic thing that we all learn quite young, that when someone is speaking to you, you don't just ignore them and pretend they're not there, because that's not how you treat people.
Your husband's gonna pull you up to the restaurant. He's gonna get out, open your door. He's gonna walk you to the restaurant door, open the door, and walk you in. He's probably then gonna leave to go park the car. You're just gonna stand in the lobby and you're gonna wait for your husband to come back. You're not gonna go up to the hostess and give the reservation name. You're not gonna talk to her. This isn't out of like I'm better than them and I don't need to talk to them. And it's not in any sense like you're better than the hostess. You're just letting your husband lead and be masculine. He made the reservation. He's taking you out. Let him do the logistics.
Do you not think you're better than them? Because you are very much acting in a way that implies you think that you are better than them. Like, you are acting as though you were too far above them to even give them a second glance. Like, you won't even interact with them. You won't even let them do their job and talk to them on that level. You have to have a middleman to go between you and them. You are not treating them as an equal at all. Like, not acknowledging someone, not speaking to them, and then like brushing them off and being like, talk to him instead. Like, you are acting as though you are better than them. And by calling yourself a princess and saying it's princess treatment very heavily implies that you do think you're above them and you are acting above them, because being a princess means that you are above them. You know what I mean? So like, yes, you do think you're above them. You are quite literally saying that you think you are above them. That's the whole thing. That's what princess treatment is. It's, I am better than you. Like, no matter what you think the intention of this is, no matter that you think like, oh, these are workers, you know, we're all equals, we're all in this, like the way you're acting is how people perceive you. So if you are acting as though you were better than them, even if you don't think that you're better than them, it's giving off that energy and they are going to think that you think you're better than them, you know, because that's how you're acting. So like, intention doesn't really matter if your actions are bad.
You're sitting down, you're ordering. For the most part, the waiter would come up, they would ask, you know, whatever, my husband would start to speak, and then the waiter would address them, and the waiter would get the hint and only then interact with my husband. Here in Salt Lake, they don't quite get it. I think they think that I'm like being, you know, oppressed or I don't know. Like, if they address me first, I will just look at my husband and let my husband order. He'll say, oh, she's da 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 da. And then if they have a follow-up question, like, oh, do you want it like this? Sometimes I will answer. Let's say I think maybe my husband doesn't know what I would want. I will then address the waiter. But it's almost like they keep trying to like get me to speak. And I'm like, no, I want him to order for me. I like when he orders for me. It's not that I'm not capable of ordering for myself. It's just fun. It's just a fun princess treatment thing. It makes me feel special. It makes me just feel like over the top taken care of.
Gee, I wonder what would give them that impression. I wonder what would make them think that. I wonder how these people working at this restaurant, where this woman comes in and constantly just goes, you'll have to talk to my husband. I don't know, talk to my husband. Staring at her husband, not speaking for herself, not doing anything for herself, just sitting there silently and quietly. I wonder why they might get the impression that you are being oppressed. Certainly couldn't be anything that you're doing. Definitely isn't the exact energy that you are putting out. I mean, if I were the waitstaff, I would also be directing my questions towards you. I would also be trying to get you to speak because I am worried that you have been taken hostage by this man. You are making everyone in this place like hate your husband because everyone thinks that you are here and being oppressed and not able to speak because your husband is this power hungry person who will not let his wife speak. So like you're painting a really poor portrait of your husband in these situations. Yeah, so like people are just worried about you and they're just trying to get you to speak, to know that, you know, this is a safe space, and like trying to gauge if they need to get you help or not. You know, that's kind of what's going on here. And like you can surely understand that that is what's happening. Like you just said, it's like they think I'm oppressed. Like, yeah. And you know why that is. And you're feeding into that. You're not changing anything. And I understand that it breaks the illusion, but maybe instead of just like staring down your husband and waiting for him to just speak for you, you could like prompt it being like, oh, honey, do you want to order for me? Oh, my husband knows what I want. Oh, honey, you know what I want. Do you want to order? Like, just say it, and say it with a smile, and say it like you are asking him to do it, not like like you aren't allowed to. You know what I mean? And then I think people will have a greater understanding of the situation, or at least not be so worried for you because now they know that you can speak and you are just preferring that he does it for you, you know? Like, if you don't want people to act like they're worried about you and you don't want people to be constantly talking to you and trying to make sure that you're okay, then you have to more break the illusion a bit more and like explain the situation, or at least, you know, make it so the situation seems a little less horrifying, you know? You just have to accept the fact that people are going to act like that because it is a dynamic that does exist so often in problematic ways. So like, either you can kind of be more broad about how you go about this and break the illusion a little bit, or you can just accept the fact that people are going to be acting like this, because you can't really have both.
Oh, another thing, at the coat check, let's say it is raining, you have a coat on. Don't go up and wait and ask for the coat check. Wait for your husband to come back and then he can take your coat off and give it to the coat check. So anything really, you're just waiting for your husband to do it.
She is walking a very thin line between chivalry and just treating her husband like a servant. Like there is a very thin line here that she is walking.
And again, it's not because you can't. It's not because you're not able to, and it's not because you're better than anybody. It's just the fun part of being that princess, of being that feminine wife, and letting your husband take care of you. You're already having to do so much. Your brain is constantly already on as a housewife, stay-at-home mom. You're running and managing so much. In those fun little moments, it's really just so lovely to let your husband do that for you.
To add to my last point, right, I do love the implication of princess treatment for a whole bunch of reasons, but like in this context, I find it really funny because it's kind of implying that her husband is in fact a servant, like he is someone who serves her, because princesses, right, when they are in relationships, when they're with their betrothed or their husbands or whatever, like they are not treating him as one of their like servants, you know what I mean? Like there is more of a you know, they are both in positions of power type things, whereas in this instance she is getting her husband to do the jobs of the actual servers who are being paid to do these jobs. She is a princess, but like her version of being a princess is not like I'm a princess and a prince, it's I'm a princess and I'm married to one of the people that work for me. Yeah, she's treating her husband as a member of staff, not as a prince. And, you know, I just find it quite funny and also kind of sad. A lot of people obviously see this and, you know, want to know how this came about. Like, how is she in this position where her husband is doing all of this for her? How did she get to this position of princess treatment? And she has made a lot of videos about this, but this one in particular I wanted to talk about, which is Princess Treatment 101.
I want to talk about like Princess Treatment 101. If your husband isn't used to you speaking in a feminine way or pouring into him or asking for certain things, and you come out the gate like, hey, I want you to buy me Chanel flats because you're traveling, he's going to be like, what? So you need to start from the beginning and we need to warm up. Where does princess treatment level start?
This example she used here of Chanel flats, by the way, is a real example. That is something that has happened. She made a TikTok about this, talking about how when her husband goes on like business trips, he has to travel. She says to him, she's like, so since you're going away, what are you going to get me to make up for all the extra work I have to do while you're gone? And so he got her some Chanel ballet flats last time he went, because he has to buy her gifts for when he goes away to apologize. And I just find that such an interesting thing to do. If you're gonna get people gifts, you should get people gifts because you love them and you thought of them and you want to get them a gift. If you were being guilted into getting a present because it's like, you're leaving me for a few days to go do work so that we can provide for our family, how dare you buy me expensive shoes? Like, what is happening? What is happening? And like, these people are not rich, by the way. Like, they're not wealthy. Like, they're doing okay, they're doing pretty good, but they are not like wealthy like some of the other stay-at-home moms, like housewife content that you see. So like, she's kind of trying to live this like really wealthy lifestyle that she isn't actually able to live, because she does not actually have the means necessary to live that life that she is pretending to live. And yet she is making her husband buy her Chanel shoes when he goes away for a business trip.
How are you talking to yourself out loud? So if he says to you, you look so beautiful today, say thank you. Or sometimes, often I'll say, I know, I do look really good. Or I'll say, I love that jacket. And I'll say, I love this jacket. You're not going to say, oh, this thing, oh, this is just from Zara. Or, oh no, I look bad. Or my makeup looks bad. Or my hair, yada, yada, yada. You keep that to yourself. You're not going to speak poorly in front of him.
This is actually good advice. This is something that you should be doing. This is something that we all should be taking on board a bit, you know? Like, we should be telling women not to put themselves down. We don't have to be modest when it comes to compliments, especially when they're coming from our partner. Like, you should absolutely feel confident and comfortable and good in yourself. Like, if your partner is telling you that you look beautiful, you should be like, I do, or just like, thank you. You know, you don't have to be like, oh, you know, no, not really. Like, we have been raised to, you know, have that sort of modesty and that inability to take a compliment. And I think we do deserve to all take that compliment and believe that and feel that about ourselves. Like, we are allowed to feel good about ourselves. We should be feeling good about ourselves. And I think that this is very important advice in that sense to, like, yeah, do feel good, do feel confident, do say that you look good and you feel good and you like to be appreciated. Absolutely. You are amazing as you are, and you do not need to pull yourself down to feel like you deserve that. You can be strong and powerful and beautiful and wonderful and like accept that love because you do deserve it. This is one time I will agree with her. This is good advice.
Whatever the thing is for you that brings you joy, start doing that unapologetically. Like I said in the other video, men want to be grasping for your attention. So when you're out and about and doing all the things that bring you joy, he loves that. He loves to see you out and about doing the things. He doesn't want you waiting around for him.
Please do the things that you love unapologetically. Like that is a very important thing to do. You should be doing those things. They are not only important, but it is just something that is so, so important, and also something that you absolutely deserve. Like, you should have your own life and your own things that you enjoy, and you deserve to have that, and I hope that you do have that. However, doing it with the intention of playing mind games with your partner is not it. That's kind of that kind of taints the entire thing, you know what I mean? Because if you're doing it with the ulterior motive of just like playing mind games with your partner, men love to be grasping for your attention. Like, do they? Because I personally think that when you have been married for 16 years, I don't think that your partner should have to fight for your attention. I don't think that after 16 years of marriage, your partner should be like fighting to get your attention and like thinking that you're not going to give it to him. Like, he shouldn't be like begging you to pay attention to him. That's not how this should work. You should have a reliable sense of like knowing that you're going to be there for each other. You know what I mean? Like, your husband should know that you are going to give him your time and you are going to do things with him and be there for him, and vice versa. You know, he shouldn't have to jump through hoops in order to get you to pay attention to him. Like, do what makes you happy. Absolutely, that is so important, and that does not have to be with your partner. Like, you absolutely deserve your own individual things as well as things together. But also you should be there when he needs you, and vice versa. Like, maybe opt to spend time with him sometimes. You like have your own thing, but also maybe also have some things that you do together as well. Like, he shouldn't be spending his entire marriage just trying to get attention from his wife, because that's really sad. You got married because you love each other and you should want to spend time with each other.
On top of that, I would say beginner princess treatment is pouring into him as well. And it's so easy to pour into him. It's so easy to say, oh my gosh, you look so nice today. Oh, I loved that you got me these flowers. It made me feel so seen, so special, so loved. Then you may think, I don't want to say that's the bare minimum that I'm asking for. But when you say, thank you so much, that really made my day so much easier that you picked up your underwear, he's going to be like, that made me feel really good that she noticed that. And her saying thank you made me feel really good. I'm going to do more of these things that make her want to say thank you or make her want to pour into me, because I love that. My ego loves it.
It is absolutely so necessary to show appreciation to your partner. Absolutely, of course. You do need to be doing that. I think that, like, you know, it's nice to be grateful and to have gratefulness just like passed around and sharing that love and appreciation of one another. It's lovely. It's important. It's a good thing to have in a relationship. But once again, the motive really taints it, you know? Like, you shouldn't be saying, like, it's annoying to thank him for when he's doing little things, but you have to do it because then he'll do things for you. Like, no, that's not how we should be looking at this. You shouldn't be just doing things in order to get something in return. Like, relationships are, yes, they are a give and take. They are, like, that is how all relationships work. You take and you give and you go back and forth and you share, and like, that's how it all works. However, you can't be kind and show affection purely to get that in return. Like, your husband is not a vending machine. You can't just put coins in it and hope that favors come out, you know? Like, if you are showing love and kindness and the only motivation behind it is to get something out of it, that is not a loving or kind thing to be doing. It's such like nice guy behavior. You know what I mean? Of the like, be nice because then they'll like you and they'll do things for you. And then the more nice you are, the closer they get and the more they do for you. And then by that point, they're already there. You know, it's like, it's really taking advantage of their kindness. And I think that you should be kind and appreciative because you love them and you want them to be happy and you want them to feel good. It shouldn't come with the idea that if you make them feel good, they will give you things. And if that's not enough and you demand more, then like, you really need to rethink what is important to you and like why that is and how you're treating your partner. Like, the beautiful thing about relationships is that it is sort of a give and take. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you give love and appreciation, then he gives love and appreciation back, and like, that is how it goes, but you don't do it with that intention. You know what I mean? You give him love because you love him. He gives you love because he loves you. But you're giving him love because you love you, not because you love him. And it's good to love yourself, obviously, but love out of selfishness is just, we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing that. He doesn't deserve that. He deserves to actually be loved because he is a lovely person. He shouldn't be loved just because he loves you. Then she goes on and is like, this isn't manipulation.
This isn't about manipulation. This isn't about twisting things. You're going to be genuine. This is about creating a more positive environment within yourself and within your relationship. Everybody wants to feel loved. Everybody wants to feel like they're doing a good job. Men love to feel like they're being a good provider. So pour into that and you're going to start to see a shift within him because he's going to want to do more and more and more.
This isn't manipulation. And then a second later is like, but if you do it more, he'll give you more. Like, girl, that's what manipulation is. I agree that you should be showing more love and appreciation to our partners. Absolutely. But do it because you actually love him and appreciate him. This is golden retriever husband taken far too literally and gone way too far. Your husband is not actually a golden retriever. Please stop training him like a dog. After telling you, you know, how to get into the princess treatment by starting small and building up to it, she tells us how to level up the princess treatment, how we make it even better, more intense, or as she likes to say, more ridiculous.
Baseline, when I met my husband, there was a good standard respect and love of like each other and then the princess treatment. But as I've leaned into being more feminine, the princess treatment has gotten better and like more ridiculous in the best way possible.
Right? As I said, at least she knows it's ridiculous. Like, she is aware that this is absolutely ridiculous. So, I mean, at least there's that. Self-awareness counts for something.
So, baseline is you already have that genuine respect and love and adoration for each other. That's like out the gate. Then once that is there, you can level up the princess treatment because he wants to. Men want to adore you and love you and spoil you. But when you're in your masculine energy, you don't give him any room to do that. You don't give him any room to chase you, any room to spoil you and adore you. Does that make sense?
There are so many things that bother me with this statement. First and foremost, I think that we should all want to love and spoil our partners regardless of our gender. Like, saying men want to adore and spoil you, it's in their nature. I find it so interesting because I, as a woman, also love to love my partners. Being in love and loving someone brings me joy. Making someone else happy brings me joy. I don't think this is a feminine, masculine, male, female, whatever thing. I think this is a you thing in which you don't really care about loving people. You love to be loved, and that's it. That's not to do with you being in your feminine or anything. That's just because you view yourself incredibly highly and you don't view anyone else as high as you view yourself. And again, it's good to have confidence and to love yourself and be comfortable in yourself and like deserve love and think you deserve love. Absolutely. But you can take it a bit too far in which, you know, you think that everyone should adore you and you don't have to do anything at all, like to pay that back or anything. That's where it's a problem, and that's where you're at with that whole like masculine energy, because this is something that she does bring up, that a lot of people bring up in these sort of situations, talking about men love to take care of you, and if you're masculine then they're not gonna take care of you. You have to like really be in your feminine for them to come into their masculine. So firstly, it's all bullshit. None of that's real. Gender roles are all fucking made up. It's all absolutely bullshit. It's just society. It's learned behavior and learned thoughts and like subconscious shit, you know? You can be a working person. Like you can work full time and then still get pampered, you know? You can work full time and still be adored. You can work full time and have that like princess treatment, you know? They're not mutually exclusive. You can be a different person at work and at home. I guess it's like we look at this thing of working means you're independent, and then if you are not working, you are more dependent. So if you are working, she's like telling herself that she's not allowed to want help. She's not allowed to want to be vulnerable because she has to like look after herself. And that comes home in her marriage as well. She like won't let herself be vulnerable because she's supposed to be this strong, independent woman. So then her husband can't take care of her because she's not allowing herself to be vulnerable in front of him. Whatever. And I understand that that is something that can happen. Absolutely. If you feel the pressure to be an independent person and to look after yourself, then it is difficult to be vulnerable. I struggle with vulnerability myself, so I get it. But that's not got anything to do with being masculine or feminine or even being a stay-at-home mom versus being a working mom. Like, this is all to do with our own perception of ourselves. And you can be vulnerable and also have a job. You can be vulnerable and also independent. You can have your own life and also be vulnerable with your partner. Like, these things are not all mutually exclusive, and you may have had to let go of some of these things to change your behavior to allow yourself to feel vulnerable, but that's not a necessary step. You can find vulnerability while still being in a different state of mind. And this whole idea of being like masculine and feminine, that's made up. That's what we're projecting onto it, but it is just subconscious and what we've learned, and that's how we perceive masculinity and femininity. So that's how we talk about it, but it's really just about independence and vulnerability. You have the power to ask for whatever you want. No matter your like living and working situation. Like, if you want specific things to be happening or to be done or to be like existing in your relationship, you can ask that and work that out regardless of your work situation. You just have to figure out how to break through that part of your subconscious. And I guess she did by becoming a housewife. That broke through the subconscious, but obviously there was a block there that meant she had to leave her job in order to do that. But I just thought we really needed to mention that the masculinity, femininity thing is just, it's bullshit. It is just about vulnerability and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And sometimes it's easier than other times, so.
Other basic standards is your love language. Whatever your love language is, he knows what it is and he actively provides, serves it to you. Like, mine is gifts. So he writes me notes. If you write me a note, I'll be your best friend forever. He writes me notes constantly. And then I get flowers weekly.
This is a lovely thing to do for your partner. Absolutely. Like, getting notes all the time, getting flowers every week, like, that's really lovely. And I think that, you know, this is something that people deserve. You deserve to be feeding into each other's love languages and, you know, getting each other gifts and saying that I think about you all the time. I love you. I'm thinking of you. And just having that appreciation and love and adoration of one another. However, do you think she does anything for him? Do you think she does anything in return? Do you think she ever buys him gifts or does anything nice for him in return? Did you answer no? Because that's the only correct answer. The only correct answer is that no, she does not. She does not ever do anything for him. Ever. She does, however, go on to list some things that he does for her, which she quotes is being as silly as you like. You know, you can get as silly as you want to get with these. Demand whatever you want. Make it absolutely ridiculous. And let's have a listen to some of the things that she says.
It's like, you have to think his princess treatment is almost just like kind of silly. You're just in your most feminine, like, I can't open the door. I can't talk to the hostess. I don't know how to do that. That's baseline. I don't really tie my shoes. He does that for me. Like, if there's any sort of like weather predicament, like it's raining, like he's gonna, cover me and make sure I get in the door first. He's gonna pull around so that I can hop into the building, and then he's gonna go park the car. Like any kind of like minor inconvenience, he's gonna take care of. Like he does certain chores around the house that I don't want to do. He does those for me. Basically, you can get as silly and ridiculous as you want. He brings me lemon tea every single night. That's a part of my princess treatment. He like tucks me in and makes sure that my blanket's on the bed and that I have all my like little thingies if I need anything in the house. Say I'm sitting and watching a show and I want a cookie or a treat or an orange, whatever it is. Like, can you peel me an orange? He's gonna peel me an orange.
You're just here expecting your husband to do everything. Everything you want, as ridiculous as it may be. Like, down to literally he's tying your shoes and tucking you in at night just because you want to be treated like a princess, and you're doing absolutely nothing in return. She's doing nothing in return. I just have to keep emphasizing that because in her mind, as she said before, right, men love to do these things for women. Men love to pamper their girlfriends, their wives. Men love to look after you. So really, she's doing him a favor. She is letting him tie her shoes and tuck her in and peel oranges, get her snacks, bring her glasses of water, like all of that. Like, she's doing him a favor because obviously that's what he wants to do. So they're actually gaining equal amounts out of this. She actually gives a few more examples in a different TikTok, and the things that he like.
The other thing that I will not do is turn off my own lamp at night and make him get up and walk around the bed and turn the lamp off.
The thing that gets me the most, like one of the tasks that is the most absurd, is that he turns the lamp off for her before bed. Like the lamp on her side of the bed. He gets out of bed, walks around the bed to her side of the bed to turn off her lamp before tucking her in and getting back into bed on the other side. Like, what, bro? It's just so astounding to me and so sad too, right? Because you can tell that she has just like starved him of love and attention to the point where he will do anything to get a sliver of that appreciation. Like, she does not give him any attention. She does not give him any like love or praise or anything unless he is doing something for her. She will not give a single fuck about him until he's doing something for her. So he's taken to doing literally anything she asks at any point in time because it means that she'll say thank you. That's so sad. That's so sad. And like, in a fictional sense, I may sit here and, be like, yes, let's go, girly. Girl power. Fuck men. You deserve the world. Like, who cares about men? Like, if I'm reading a book or whatever, then yeah, maybe I'll be on her side and being like, hell yeah, let's go. But this is a real life situation. This is a real person that we are talking about. And he is absolutely being completely emotionally taken advantage of and manipulated. Like, he is being so starved for affection to the point where he is literally getting out of bed to walk around it, to turn the lamp off for her just so she says, thank you. I appreciate you. It's so sad. Like, she doesn't even get herself water. She doesn't even tie her shoes. She does none of it. He does every single task she can think of. She gets him to do. It feels like borderline humiliation kink. Very much a like power dynamic kind of kink. Like, it's not really dom sub, I don't think. I don't know the correct terms for like any of the kink stuff, but it's definitely fits into that a little bit, and I will talk a little bit more about that in a bit once we have a little bit more context even still, because this does just keep on going. But ultimately, yeah, she is just really taking advantage of this guy's kindness and the fact that she spent so many years, training him like a dog to get to this point. Next, she made a TikTok where she talks about mothering your husband, which, is a common struggle. People do end up mothering their husbands. This is a very well-known issue. And she made a whole TikTok about it.
He doesn't want to be mothered by you. He wants to be in a romantic relationship with you. He wants to be flirty and having fun and be treating you like a princess and taking care of you and providing for you. When you're mothering him, that doesn't give him the position to take care of you because you're taking care of him.
How I wish this was true. How I wish this was true. Do you know the amount of men who absolutely do want to be mothered by their wives? Because the number is astoundingly high.
The more you think about him, the more energy and thought you put into him, the more thought and energy he will put into him. the more you think about yourself, the more he's going to think about you.
I mean, I suppose this is true, but at the same time, surely you want to put energy into him? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to mother him, but I do think it's important to check in on the people that you love. I think that, like, you don't have to mother him to, like, you know, talk to him and make sure he's okay and, like, tell him that you love him. You know, there's a difference. You can be kind and caring without being a mother. You know? Like, they're not the same thing.
But anytime you feel the need to comment on if has he eaten? Has he showered? Has he brushed his teeth? Do you need to schedule his haircut? You know, when I take his dry cleaning, I will say, I'm taking your dry cleaning on Thursday. Like, this is a general announcement that you need to get your stuff into the bag, but I'm not going to be like, did you put your blue sweater in the dry cleaning bag so I can take it to the dry cleaner? No. He can figure that out. He's a grown man.
You are absolutely correct on this. Obviously, he is an adult. He can take care of himself. You shouldn't have to tell him to do really simple tasks. He should just know to do them and know how to do them. And I understand that it is annoying to have to constantly be like, can you do this thing that I told you to do a bunch of times? And, like, make sure he's doing it. Like, all of that. I get it. He is a grown man. He can take care of himself, for sure. However, as someone who expects her husband to tuck her in at night, tie her shoes, peel her oranges, bring her water, open the door for her, talk to waitstaff. Like, you are expecting your husband to do literally everything for you. So I don't really think you are in a position to speak about what is and isn't appropriate when it comes to looking after a partner. If you doing, like, small basic tasks for your husband is you mothering him, then surely you can take a walk with me here and look from the other perspective and see that that means you were implying that he is fathering you. Like, if you doing this for your husband means you're being his mother, that means he is being your father. And I don't know if you've put any thought into that, but I really think that you need to sit with that for a second, because all the things he is doing for you are in fact things that dads do for their daughters. Like, these are all things parents do for their kids. So, like, if you're gonna call it mothering if you do it for him, you gotta call this what it is. One of the things that bothers me the most in this entire dynamic is how she talks about him and how she allocates her time to spend with him. She made this whole TikTok where she just talks about being unbothered. And it just makes me really sad.
Your princess treatment, you're going to act unbothered by things. You're not going to send him 20 paragraphs explaining how you feel. You're not going to whine and cry and be hysterical about things that he's done or hasn't done. Unbothered. For example, my husband was at a work dinner this week. He said he'd be home at 6. It was 7 o'clock. I did not text him. I'm not going to bother him while he was at this work dinner. I was not going to be hounding him, asking when he's coming home. I didn't say a word. So when he came in at 7, we were busy. I was working on one of my client's projects. My son was doing Legos. We were watching a movie. He came in. Life went on without him. And that's how you want him to feel. You want him to feel like he's grasping for your attention.
Oh my God. Like, I understand that, yes, you should not have to put your whole life on hold for someone. You do not have to put your whole life on hold for your husband or for any partner. Like, you are allowed to have your own independent things. You're allowed to have your own life and, you know, keep going without him and keep yourself entertained while he's not there. I'm not telling you to, like, sit and wait by the door and not do anything until he gets home. But surely when he does get home, you're happy to see him. Like, surely when he arrives home, you are happy to see him because he's been out all day and he's been working hard and you love him and want to say hi. You don't even have to, like, stop your task completely and, like, throw them away for the rest of the night, but you can put them down and go say hello, ask him about his day, have a conversation, catch up, because that's your life partner. And you should like talking to him and spending time with him and wanting to see him and see if he's okay and how his day went, because he's had a long day and he's probably tired now. Like, if he's gonna be home late and so isn't going to be there for dinner, fine, but it might be nice if you sit with him while he eats dinner. That's not you putting your life on pause for him and, like, giving up your life for a man. That's just you having a partner and loving them and liking to spend time with them and, like, you know what I mean? I just find it so fascinating that this is so strongly independent and so like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. He can do what he wants. I don't care if he's here or not. Like, he can do whatever. He can come and look after me, but I'm not going to pay him any attention. Like, that's so sad to me. Also, little note on this. There's a little slip here where she says that she is working on a project for her clients. So, are we lying about being a housewife? Because as far as I'm aware, she's not meant to have a job at all. She said she's a full-time stay-at-home wife. She doesn't work anymore. She quit her job. But here she's saying, I'm working on a project for a client. So you're just doing freelance interior design work? Like, that's fine. But it does mean all of this is just like a lie of wanting to fit into this new, you know, trad wife trend that's been happening. It's very much like, feels like she is over exaggerating and lying about a lot of stuff because she wants attention, and also because she wants to like feel like she fits into this glamorous lifestyle that she has seen. She has fallen victim to this trad wife stuff she has seen everywhere, and she's like, I want that life. So now she is living it to the best of her abilities and then over exaggerating it so that people look at her and want her life. So that's my thoughts, because you don't just slip and say, I'm working on a thing for a client if you aren't actually working on a thing for a client. Anyway, as I said, your husband shouldn't have to fight for your attention. You should want to give him attention. You should want to spend time with him, because that's what a partnership is.
I will often say, I don't have time for this. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to deal with this. You will figure it out. Obviously not for big things, like not big things you need to come together as a team and figure out. I'm talking like smaller details. And I'll just say to him, I don't have the energy for this. You're going to figure it out. Overall vibe is you're unbothered by him. He's not upsetting you. He's not making you hysterical. That doesn't mean you're making life easy for him. You're not being a whatever girl and just like, oh yeah, treat me however you want. You're just not being hysterical, because that's somewhat removal from him. He's going to want to chase you. Why isn't she responding? Why isn't she upset? Why isn't she whining, crying, whatever it may be? Oh, maybe she's detaching from me. I want to come back to her. I want to bring her back in.
Relationships aren't a game. Relationships aren't a game. You're allowed to care about each other. You are allowed to care about him. You telling him that you love him and you care about him isn't going to scare him off. And if it is, why did you marry him in the first place? Like, you've been married for 16 years. I think that he knows you love him, and I think that he deserves to know that you love him. You are like psychologically fucking torturing this poor man. This man that has loved you for 16 years. You are making him live on a cliff, thinking that you might leave him. Like, you might just kick him off that cliff at any point, and he's like grateful for you for not kicking him. And then you come and you give him, you're like, wow, you're doing so good at holding onto the edge of that cliff. I'm so proud of you. And that makes him feel good. Because the alternative is you kick him off and you're keeping him living there forever. That's not how this should work. This is so cruel. Just like keeping your husband in this psychological state of being afraid that you're going to leave, so he will do anything in his power to keep you because you have emotionally manipulated him into this position. That's so fucked up. It's so fucked up and so sad. Like, I agree your life shouldn't revolve around him. Your lives shouldn't revolve entirely around each other. You should have your own separate lives. But at the same time, as a married couple of like 16 years, there's going to be a lot of crossover. You are going to have a lot of the same friends. You are going to have a lot of the same things that you do together. And you should also love doing those things. You should have a lot of things that you do together as well as some things that you do separately. And saying that you don't have the time to take on whatever is burdening him is also so fucking sad. You're saying to your life partner, I must keep emphasizing, the person that you love and have dedicated your life to loving, whom you are meant to like share each other's burdens and stresses and emotions and fears and worries and like all the good and bad. You are meant to share that weight between you. But whenever he's struggling, you say, I don't have the time to deal with that. What are you doing? Why are you here? One of the most important key parts of being married and being in a relationship is that you go through things together and you share that. If you are refusing to like talk to him about shit or like carry any of his burden, then that's just so unfair to him. Like, boundaries are important, yes, but also so is communication and love and like sharing weight. He should be able to confide in you and lean on you, and you him also. And you are equals. You are both equals in this relationship, and you are treating him like a servant, and it's not fair. And I understand, as I was saying before, that like some people are into this sort of dynamic. Some people are into this sort of dynamic from both sides, like this big push play, like power thing, like femdom kind of whatever. Again, don't know the correct terms, but I know that there's like a kink thing that can come into play in this sort of situation. And I understand that and I respect that. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. However, when it comes to kink and that sort of stuff, that requires constant consent, communication, and like view of like equality in the situation. You know what I mean? Like there is mutual respect and understanding. There's constant communication and consent. But in this case, it is very one-sided. And you know that by the fact that she is literally giving instructions on how to train your husband into this. They didn't go into this situation saying, this is what I'm into, this is what I want. She has spent years building up to this point. She has spent years literally like giving little cookies to him every time he does something for her. She is built up to having him like live in this position where he is like worshipping her. This is not where it started. This did not start with this mutual understanding. There's not mutual respect here. She genuinely views herself as so high above him and so much more worthy of love and respect than he does. So she doesn't give it to him and he craves that. You know, there's a very big difference between like consent and respect and like actually like not at all, you know? And again, like even if there is that sort of dynamic, I feel like it is very different when you go into a relationship stating that's what you like versus having a conversation about it and being like, this is what I want, versus spending years training it and then going online and offering advice on how to train and manipulate your husband into the situation as well so you can get what you want. You know, there's a very big difference between all of this. He did not go into this relationship consenting to being in this position. It has taken years to get here without really being aware that it was happening, you know, which is manipulation, which isn't okay. And like, I know that I sit here and I'm constantly saying like, fuck men are the worst. And I stand by that. However, I do think that when you're in a relationship, right, when you are choosing to be with that person, you have made the choice to let this man into your life and to love him and to have him as a partner. And he deserves to be treated like a person. He deserves to be treated equally. Like he is a person, you know. It's all well and good and fun to sit here and be like, fuck men. But there is such a massive normalization of abusing male partners and it's absolutely not okay. And I'm absolutely not here for it. And men are people. You have to treat him as a person because he is a person. And if you don't want to treat him like a person and you just want someone to like abuse, don't be in a relationship. In her next TikTok, she talked about sacrifice and making sacrifices. And by that, I mean, she says not to make sacrifices, especially for him.
I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking the time. At night, in the morning, I'm not sacrificing something especially for him. The children, that's a different question. But I'm not gonna go out of my way for him. If you're a stay-at-home mom, he has the time to take care of himself. Like I talked about in the other video, you're not mothering him. So the free time that you have, you're taking care of yourself. You are painting your nails, drinking your water, eating healthy, you know, getting the sleep that you can, doing a little something for you every day. You're unbothered by him.
As soon as you say, I'm in a relationship and I'm not sacrificing, especially for him, that's a screaming red flag right there. Because regardless of anything, relationships require sacrifice. Relationships always require sacrifice. I'm not saying you have to make massive sacrifices. You don't have to like throw away dream jobs or like big things that you adore. No, you don't have to do that, but you do have to make small sacrifices and compromises because that's part of being in a relationship, you know? If there's like two things going up against each other and one of them is like incredibly important to your partner and the other is like you want it but you can live without it, then you sacrifice that for that. You know what I mean? Like, or if there's two things and you're like polar opposite ends of it, you can come to the middle and like both making small sacrifices to get to something that you both want. Like you both have to be making sacrifices at some point, you know? Like sometimes you can come to compromises, sometimes you can have discussions you might not end up needing to make as big of a sacrifice or whatever. But like if you are in a relationship and you are constantly expecting someone to sacrifice for you, but you are not willing to make sacrifices for them, you are not a good partner. You're not a good person in general. You should be willing to sacrifice things in order to make your partner happy. Again, you don't have to sacrifice big, massive, important things. I don't think we should be encouraging that at all. But like small things, if it means that it's going to make someone else very happy, I feel like it should be worth that little sacrifice. you know? Only doing things in a relationship that benefit you and nothing that ever benefits your partner it's an incredibly selfish thing to do, and just not a way to be a good partner. Like, if you are never sacrificing for your partner, or everything you do is specifically only benefiting you, you are just not a good partner. And you need to really reflect on that and be a better partner, because they deserve better than that.
We stopped watching TV at night so that I could have this nighttime routine to take care of myself. And at first, he didn't like it at all. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I don't care. You can sit and watch TV. I'm gonna go and shower, and then I'm gonna drink my lemon tea, and then I'm gonna lay in bed and journal, or I'm gonna read. Like, that's what I wanted to do at night to take care of myself, because that's what I needed. And I removed him from the equation. I said, I don't care what you're gonna do. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna take care of myself.
This makes me so sad. It makes me so sad. This man just wants to spend time with his wife. They have, at nighttime, they sit down and they watch a TV show together, because he's been at work all day. She's been running the house all day, secretly working for her interior design clients that she supposedly doesn't have all day. He comes home, you know, they finally get to sit down and spend some time together, watch some TV to like wind down. And she's like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I need me time. I need me time. I know that all day today, you know, I woke up and then you made me coffee and I sat out on the roof for an hour and did my journaling, and then I did my Pilates, and then I went and had brunch, and then I went and had brunch again, and then I went shopping, and then I came home, and then you bought me coffee. Like, I know that, like, you know, but I had a really busy day today doing all of that. So now that you're home finally and can relax, I need to like step away and go do some more journaling and like more skincare stuff. And I don't have time to sit here and spend time with you. Firstly, I don't know how her kid fits into this, by the way. Like I said, like, her kid is an older kid. He's a teenager, and she constantly is always being like, it's easier for me because I'm a mother of an older son. But in any of her like stay-at-home wife vlogs, like housewife vlogs, he's never mentioned, ever. She talks about having to like pick up and drop off her son, but like, it's never never mentioned when she's doing these like day in the life things. She says she makes him breakfast, but at like 9 o'clock, which is after he's already had to go to school. So I don't know what that's about. And she's like, in the afternoon, it's when I get my kid, but he's not in the pickup. She's not making dinner for him. She's not spending time with him. She's going to bed at like 8 o'clock after supposedly she used to watch TV with her husband. Like, where is their son? I don't know. Anyway, that was a little bit of a side tangent. Yeah, so she has done her self-care all day, and now she doesn't have time to sit and spend time with her husband, obviously. Who cares? So she goes and does her self-care routine, and her husband just wants to be a part of it. He just misses her and wants to spend time with her because he loves her. So he started sitting in the room with her while she is doing that. And then she makes him go and bring her tea and do things for her and that. And then is like, I'm not forcing him to do it. He's choosing to do it. He wants to do it. He wants to do this with me because he loves me and he loves doing things for me. Babes, you just told me he didn't like it a moment ago. He's just gotten used to it. He's sacrificed that time with you, like watching TV, for this because he just wants to spend time with you, and you never want to spend time with him. You do everything in your power to not spend time with him. You are expecting him to give up his entire life to be your servant. And then you're like, but he likes it. You forced him into this. You've basically said, like, if you don't act as my servant and like wait on me constantly, I'm not going to love you. You have reinforced that over several years. Like, this was a very big evidence of that, in which like he didn't want to sacrifice this time. He loved spending this time with you, but you made it clear that the only way he gets to spend time with you at nighttime is if he is doing this for you. So he's gonna do it for you because he loves you. Honestly, deserves a little bit better. Like, deserves someone who actually loves him and pays attention to him and like lets him be a person and shows him love and affection as well. Because on top of this, like, she stopped him from watching TV together, right? They don't do that anymore. But then, you know, obviously she's like, he can go and do that if he wants, knowing full well he's not gonna fucking do that because he misses her and wants to spend time with her. But then, you know, she's like, however, once it's bedtime and it's lights out and it's time to go to sleep, he has to be in bed with me, going to sleep at the exact same time.
In this video, I'm talking about how we used to stay up super late and watch TV, and then I switched our routine to going to bed a lot earlier and talking about like the black cat energy of golden retriever of that, and how my husband was like resistant to it, and then I just started doing what I wanted to and he followed. And her comment on like normalize being in a relationship and being two different human beings, 100%, but at bedtime when you're going to bed, no, you were on the same routine. If the lights are out and head is on the pillow, your husband is next to you. This may be controversial, I don't know, but if you are sleeping and your husband is out in the living room watching TV, that is super weird to me. What is he doing in the middle of the night that he needs? No. Like, what is he looking at? Who is he texting? What is he watching? Like, that's freaking weird, suspicious behavior to me.
If he wants to go out into the TV, what's he doing in the middle of the night? That's suspicious behavior. Who is he texting? What is he watching? Why does he need to be hiding out there in the middle of the night? It's like, maybe he just wants to watch the TV that he couldn't watch before. How are you not trusting him? How are you making him do all of this for you? And he's like given up so much of his life just to like dote on you. And you're like, but you're not allowed out of my sight though, because I don't trust you. Just let your husband watch TV if he wants. If he wants to go to bed after you, I don't see how that's an issue. How you should not be having trust issues in your relationship. How are you so like overly possessive and controlling to this point where like you don't trust him to watch TV and also you are expecting him to give you the entire world? Like, it's so fucked up. It's like such a show of how much she views him as just someone so below her. It's so controlling under the guise of like, he wants to. No, that's not the impression that I've been given.
Because in my mind, at the end of the day, I am the most important. I am the prize. I am the princess. And I'm unbothered. If you want to be in the room with me while I get ready, then that's your choice. If you want to take the time to have a coffee with me, that's on you. Like, do you want to be home for dinner on time because you love and adore us, or are you going to be a jerk and come late? Like, unbothered. Like, we're going to have dinner at this time. We're going to do this. We're going to be here. I'm going to be here. Are you going to show up? Are you going to participate?
The fact she just straight up does not give a fuck is so depressing. You should want to spend time with your partner. You should want to be with them and hang out with them and enjoy time with them. Like, the fact that you don't want to spend time with your partner means that like maybe the relationship is not what it needs to be. I don't think that you should be viewing your partner as just someone to serve you and that is the only thing you see them useful for, because that's not a partnership. He is your servant effectively. And I've said that before, but like the way it just constantly keeps being enforced, like, I don't care if he's there for dinner. I don't care if he's there. I don't care where he is or what he's doing. I don't give a fuck. If he wants to be there, he can be, because I'm great and I'm amazing and he should want to spend time with me, but I don't actually give a fuck if I spend any time with him or not. Now, she has comments turned on all of her TikToks. A lot of them don't get very many views. The one that did had the comments turned off, and this other one has the comments turned off. I'll give you a good guess as to why. Just hear this out.
Reverse princess treatment doesn't exist. I get what you're saying. I understand at like the core what you're asking, and I will get to that. But reverse princess treatment is not a phrase, and we're definitely not going to say that in front of our husbands. You are the princess. You are the prize. No one else in the family is a princess. Not the dog, the cat, the children, his mother, your mother, his sister, nobody else. You are the princess alone. You get all the extra love and affection.
Girl? Wow, I wonder why you were catching slack for this one. I wonder why she had to turn the comments off on this one. Could it be because she's putting herself above her kid? Could it be that she is saying, women, you are the most important person in your husband's life. You are priority above your children. No, you're not. Your kids are always first. Always first. If your kids are not number one in your priority list, you are a bad parent. Like, you are important. Yes, absolutely. You have to make sure that you are doing well and that you are like looking after yourself, because you can't be a good parent if you are not in a good state, obviously. But your kids are the number one priority, meaning you have to make sacrifices for your kids. You chose to have kids. They did not choose to be here. You have to make sacrifices for them. Really, no matter what they are, you have to do that. That is your obligation as a parent most of the time, right? Especially your husband's affection. His priorities go kids, then himself, then you. The priority is like your kids go first and then you have to take care of yourself, absolutely, and then it's other people. Your husband's number one priority should not be you. His extra time and love and affection should not go to you. That should go to the kids. Absolutely. How are you sitting here being like, you are the princess, you are the prize, you are the best thing in the entire world, your kids don't deserve love, you do. Get the fuck out. What the fuck? And I mean, it makes sense. Like, she never speaks about her kid ever. She clearly doesn't give a fuck anyway. She like truly acts like because he's a teenager, her job as a parent is done. He's not there ever. She never talks about him. The few times she talks about him, she's basically like, he's out with his friends having the time of his life. When they're home together, she's like, I send him over there and he does his cursive handwriting while I go do Pilates, and then he goes out with his friends. Do you know your son? Do you talk to your son? Do you care about him? I am so curious about how she raises him. I'm curious about his values and how he falls into all of this, but you know, she doesn't talk about it. And I don't think we should be showing our kids in our videos, but it's interesting to make like stay-at-home mom content and not even talk about being a mother, but you know, whatever, I guess. One example here where she does talk about her son that I find a bit of a slip is that she says,
I can't remember how we both took my son to school, and then he brought me back. I brought him back home, dropped him off at his car.
And I just love that she said, took my son to school, as though this is not their son shared. This is also his son. She was like, we took my son to school. Girl, that's his father. Have you denied him of giving his affection to his own son so much that you forgot that he was his father because all of his affection has to go to you, so he's not even allowed to spend time with this kid? Is that what happened? Because like, how did you do this? Why did you do this? We took my son to school, and then he came back. Need you to think about why you made that slip there.
I will occasionally write my husband a note. Occasionally. On his birthday, I make him feel special. On Father's Day, I make him feel special. Day to day though, me being here is the gift. That is the extra love and affection. It gives me a kiss. And I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, I just wanted to come by and give you a kiss. And I was like, well, I just said goodbye to you. He's like, I know, but I wanted to come in and give you a kiss. And I was like, that was so kind. Where was I going with that? Oh, that's extra love and affection. I'm not going to do that.
So sad to be like, my husband buys me gifts, but I would never get him a gift. I'll give him a gift maybe on his birthday. Other than that, never. No gifts ever. I am the gift. I am the gift. It's all about me. He doesn't deserve anything else because he has me and I'm brilliant and perfect. And then I drop my kid off at school and he comes back and he kisses me on the cheek and he's like, I love you. I appreciate you. And I love that he did that for me, but I would never do that for him. He does not deserve my thoughts. I would never think about him. I would never spoil him. I'd never get him a gift. I'd never do any of that. He has his birthday and he has Father's Day, and those are the only days he gets. The rest of the year is all about me all of the time. I don't ever want to think about him or do anything for him because he doesn't deserve my love and affection, but I deserve all of his. This is just so foreign to me because I am someone who I love to love. I love to make people happy. I love making my partner happy. I love making my friends happy. One of my love languages is giving gifts. Like not receiving gifts, giving gifts. If I'm traveling or I'm going anywhere, if I see something and I'm like, oh my God, blank will love that, I'm buying it. I'm giving it to them because I know they will appreciate knowing I was thinking of them. I know that they are going to enjoy that and it's going to make them happy. Like I go out to the Sainsbury's, I come home and I'll bring something home for Kat. I'll go out, like I'll see something, I'll bring it home for whoever's there. Like I'm constantly thinking of the people I love and how to make them happy. And it makes me happy to see them happy. Relationships are such a like give and take. You are putting in equal amounts to what you were getting out. And I cannot imagine like feeling good about myself if I'm taking so much from my partner. I love to make people happy and I cannot imagine not caring about that. I can't imagine wanting a relationship that is so one-sided. Sure, I love to receive gifts from people I love too. I love to be given like attention and affection. It's great. It's lovely. And I also love giving that back because I want them to feel happy and lovely and loved in return. And I'm not doing that so they'll give more of it to me. I'm doing it because it makes them happy and that makes me happy. You know? It's just such a foreign concept to me to just like use people in this way and to like marry someone that you really don't actually care about and you are just using to build your own ego and to like use to like get things. And you know, like it doesn't make sense to me and it makes me so sad. The ultimate takeaway from all of this, I think, is just please treat your partners as people. Relationships are about compromise and sacrifice. They are give and take. They are love. You do get what you put in, right? But she is not putting anything in and she's getting a lot out because she is, you know, manipulated the situation into being what it is. Again, as I said, I know that sometimes relationship dynamics and stuff like this are consensual and there is a conversation and a discussion around this like sort of power play thing. And I get that and I respect that when it has been done with consent and when there is communication about what that is and that's how it starts. When it is something that is the result of years and years of what she is literally calling training, like she uses the word training countless times, then it's not okay because it's happened over a gradual long amount of time where that is literally what manipulation is. That's why I have a problem with it. If you're going into a relationship and this is the foundation of it when it starts, fine. If you're both getting something out of it, Good for you. Do whatever you want. I don't care. You're consenting adults. When there's manipulation involved and it's all about games of like, he doesn't know when I'm going to leave him. He thinks I love him so much, and I do, but only because he does stuff for me. Like, then it's a problem. Have consent and communication in your relationships. Have love and respect. Give things for your partner. Do things for your partner. And like, you know, enjoy each other's company. Spend time with each other. Don't take each other for granted. Love each other and be loved. Be confident. Know that you deserve love and affection, and also give that in return as well. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it greatly. A huge, huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons: Aurora, Sienna, Alicia, Mirielle, Bree, Bay the Trucker, Chastity, Beckett, Prismatic Petey, Sushi, Uh-Oh, It's Crigolo, Phil the Duck, River, Queen Glimmer, Ella, Mr. Noodle, Radsack, Knitting Menace, Samuel, Chris, Ellie, Alexis, and Bobby. I love and appreciate you so, so much. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes, you replay